Hi guys, this is Dion here with Your Guitar Academy. So in this lesson, I want to talk to you about filling in the gaps and really expanding on our bass groove for the A section of this Cory Wong style piece. So we're going to be taking a look at some small variations on the groove, as well as some interesting ways of playing through the chords, and also some slightly more sophisticated 16th note strumming. So grab a guitar and let's give it a go. If you just joined us, please don't forget to head over to the website where you can get all of the additional course materials, including the handbook, any tabs, any backing tracks and chord diagrams as well. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment as well. It really helps us out to hear how you've been getting on with the courses, and any questions you have, we will definitely get back to you. You've got your bass groove down now, so you should have down, oh, let's turn my volume. You should have this nice and comfortable, get that going, as I said, to a metronome. Once you've got there, that is your foundation. So that's what we're going to build on now. So if you listen to the piece and you watch the playthrough, you'd hear that there's a few variations, and when the drums come in, there's also some more chordal stuff going on. So before the drums come in though, there's a slight variation on the groove, and it sounds like this. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on there. So that's our bass groove to start. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a... In fact, let me do that again. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and... It's really hard to count and play at the same time. But that's essentially what we're doing. 3, down, muted, and then up on the chord. If I do it with the drums, you kind of hear it in a bit more context, seeing as I can't count properly today. So let's go back to 60. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so and a 3 E and a. Okay, so and a 3 E and a. That's essentially what we're targeting here. So with this, you have to really get used to that squeeze and release with the fretting hand here, making sure you're getting, all of that, all of those notes that we don't want muted, and then just squeezing on when you want the chord. So once again, and a 3 E and a, and a 3 E and a, and a 3 E and a. So it's a really good idea. Get used to playing that along with the drums. It's this sort of speed. And a 3 E and a, 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 and a 3 E and a. Now in context. And a 3 E and a, and again. Da, da. There you go, and again. Okay, so that's that little variation before the drums kick in as well. Okay, so we also, when the drums kick in, we have this really kind of standard, simple little minor pentatonic line that sounds... It's just in our position 1 pentatonic scale, in the key of B flat, and we go... And that's just 6th fret of G. So it's like 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and a 4 E. Okay, that's the rhythm. 3 and so that's a 8th note, followed by 4 16ths. So that's 6 on G, 8 to 6 on D, 8 to 6 on A. With the drums. 1, 2, and 1, and 2 and. You can add the little kind of tweaked bend, micro bend if you want. 1, 2 and. So now in the full thing so far we have 3, 4 and. Now we bring in our variation. And then 1, 2, 3. And there we go. And that's, you'll hear that part, that little is over where the drums do that cool feel to lead us into the main groove. Okay, so that's that so far. Again, just take your time, bite-sized chunks with all of this, okay? But I now want to talk about when the drums kick in. We have a groove that sounds like this. Okay, so there's quite a lot going on here. So we're going to break this down nice and slow again. Okay, so we're still, again, just building on this bass foundation groove that we had, this idea here. But what we're now doing is we're introducing this variation on this 9-chord shape with the sus4 thing that we spoke about earlier. So the rhythm on this starts exactly the same. We go, so that's 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, and then, okay, that's new. Okay, so starts the same as I said, but then we have to grab this shape here. So you see that small movement with my fingers, they switch up a little bit. So I'm now on 6th fret of D, 5th fret of G, 4th fret of B, and then 4th finger is on top on the 6th fret of E here, and we go. So that's on the beats. Let me count it for you. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a. So on the second bar, 1 E and a. So what's quite challenging here is having to move that first finger down to catch the third on that final upstroke. So if I do it a bit slower, I'll do a bit slower than that, that's still fairly fast at 60. Go down to 50, 2, 3, 4, and then, okay, so you could just try that bit in isolation, you know. You see, I just had a bit of the E string ringing out, so you see how I brought my thumb over there to avoid any of those unwanted notes. Make sure we're muting effectively. Okay, now in context. And again. Okay, so that's that part there. So just, again, little bite-sized chunks, take it in baby steps, small bit at a time. And then we have this. In fact, I'd be more inclined to play it with my thumb over the top because we want to use this, you know, this wide strumming throughout. So what's happening here, that's it slowed down. So we're essentially starting here. That's an E flat triad, but I just imagine it, you know, as part of your blues scale, but just with the 13 added in here, just this 8th fret here, okay? But the notes are 8th fret on D, G, and B with the 3rd finger, okay? And we go strike downwards with that. You see I'm muting, okay, with my left hand. See, this is across, barred there, thumb is over, and also my 3rd finger is curled up and touching that high E string, so we're not getting any of that. So we have down, and now I'm kind of looking at this as like a dominant 7 type shape, but I'm only using these 3 strings. So that's the 6th fret of D, G and B, and I do that down, up. And you see I bring my 2nd finger down onto the 7th fret of G. So once again, so that's down, down, up. Okay, with the rhythm. 3 E and 4 E and Okay, to finish this phrase, we go. So that's just running down our pentatonic scale shape, okay? So that would be 8, 8, 6, 8. That's it, and that's all picked, so down, up, down. You see the muting here has to be really effective with the left hand. Thumbs over the top, 1st finger is curled across, stop any of this unwanted notes. So that's what we should sound like. You know, if I don't mute, it sounds pretty crazy, okay? So you want to make sure you're muting. So again, at full speed. That's that part there. This is really tricky, okay, at full speed. So again, keep coming back to it, play it nice and slow. Let's just hear what we have so far. So this section. Okay, now we have. So this is just some triadic stuff, okay? So this here is just a B flat triad, okay? It's a little, kind of, if you imagine a D major chord, we're playing this same shape, just up here. Okay, so the frets are 10th fret on G, 11th fret on B, 10th fret on the higher E. So bear in mind, if you're into your theory, this is a 2nd inversion because we're playing it from the 5th. So we could either play it root position, 1st inversion, or 2nd inversion. Root position is starting on the root, 1st inversion is starting on the 3rd, 2nd inversion is starting on the 5th. In this case, we're playing it 2nd inversion. And then we have a C minor triad here, which is just barring our 1st finger across the 8th fret of the G, B and E string, sorry. And then we finish just with the top note of this 9 chord again, so simple. So in context, it sounds like this. 3 E and a 4 E and a. We have our, and then a repeat. Then we go back to the groove, yeah. Repeat this part. And then to finish, all that is just a really staccato single note line, again, in this B flat minor pentatonic. So we go slide from 6 to 8 on the A string, and then go 6 on G, 8 on D, 6 on D, 8 on A. So, and I pick that all down strokes and make sure it's really staccato. In context, sorry. And there we go. So now with the drums, just super quickly, let me just try that with the drums at 100. 3, 4. One more time. And there we go. So that's everything for the A section of this piece. And there's a hell of a lot to digest there. So as I keep saying, take it slowly, bit by bit, lick by lick, and just gradually bolt it all together. And then I'll see you in the next video for the B section. That's it for this lesson. If you want to go on to the next lesson, you can click here. And if you want to go back to the beginning of the course, you can click here. Also, please don't forget to leave us a comment. Let us know how you've been getting on with the course so far. And if you have any questions about anything, we'll answer it and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.